Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We are on Chapter 7, Lesson 6, page 517 in your math book. We're going over patterns. Please make sure you have listened to the guided practice so that when you get to this part, it is easy peasy. All right, couple of things we need to understand. These numbers are called terms. This little pattern is called a sequence. And we need to figure out what it is. It's either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. You can look at seeing if they get bigger or smaller. If they get bigger, obviously it's add or multiply. If they get smaller, it's subtract or division. So let's begin. Number 1, identify the pattern. Check. Then write the next 3 terms in each sentence. Check. All right, looking at this pattern for number 1, they're definitely getting bigger as they're going to the right. Looking at it, looks like there are 5 in between this one, and there are 10 in between this one, and 20. And looking at that, it looks like they are doubling each time. So when you double, you're multiplying or multiplying by 2. Okay, now we need to do the next 3 terms or the next 3 spots. So 40 times 2 is, and then 80 times 2. Okay, 160 times 2. I need to see you write this over to the left. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So 320. Make sure you write a little bit neater than I did. Okay, there we go. Number 2. We need to figure out the pattern. Okay, they are getting smaller as they're going to the right. So it's either subtract or division. So let's figure out how many numbers are in between each of these. Between 58 and 59, there is 5. And between these numbers, there's 5. And between these numbers, there are 5. So we're going to write subtract by 5. Okay, now we need to do the next 3 terms. So 58 subtract 5 is 48 take away 5 is 43. 43 take away 5 is 38. 38 take away 5 is 33. Number 3, let's see if we can figure out the pattern. Okay, that's a pretty big number, but it gets drastically smaller and then drastically smaller. And I know these 2 numbers, that is being divided by 2. I recognize that pattern. So I'm betting that's going to be our answer. And 24 divided by 2 would be 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Oh, I wish they were all nice like that one. Let's look at this pattern. Okay, they're getting bigger as they're going to the right. Let's see by how much. There's 7 in between that one, and 7, and 7. So they're getting, it's not multiplication, so we're going to say add 7. So 25 plus 7, count on your fingers if you need to. There we go. Next page. Make a plan. Dino's Diner charges $4 for each sandwich. Okay. Carla's Cafe, so diner. Carla's Cafe charges $8 for each sandwich. Write the total cost for 1, 2, 3, and 4 sandwiches for each restaurant and then compare. Okay, this is where it's going to be helpful for you to have some kind of a table. So I'm going to label D for Dino and C for Carla. Okay, and then we're going to say, make kind of a little rectangle here. All right, and they are going to be they're going to start out at $4 per sandwich and $8 per sandwich. And that's just going to be 1. And then we're going to say 2 sandwiches. Well, 2 sandwiches would be 8, and 2 sandwiches at the other restaurant would be 16. 3 sandwiches. 3 times 4 is 12. And then 3 times 8 is 24. Wow, it's twice as expensive at Carla's already. Now I need to do 4 sandwiches. So 4 sandwiches at $4 each is $16. 4 sandwiches here at $8 each is $32. Okay, we're going to stop right there. So we're going to have our answer here. We need to compare the total cost of $4 at each sandwiches. So for Dino's, it's going to be $16 for 4 sandwiches. And Carla's is going to be quite a bit more expensive. Carla's Cafe, she's going to be twice as much for 4 sandwiches. So the cost of 4 sandwiches at Carla's Cafe is twice the cost of 4 sandwiches at Dino's. So let's do this. Let's do Carla's Cafe. I'm going to put that in a little parentheses. And we're going to do $32 is greater than the Dino's restaurant, which is $16. And we're going to put a big D. There we go. Whew. Brain builders, number 6. Look for patterns, identify the pattern, and then find the missing terms. Okay, let's look at here. We have 81, 9, and 1. So we're missing something in between there. So I know that these are all factors of each other, and it looks like it's dividing by 3. Because 81 divided by 3 is 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's our answers. Fill in the blank with each correct word to complete each sentence. A sequence is a list of numbers that follow a specific. We've been finding the pattern. Each number in the list is called a term, which represents the next 3 terms in the sequence: 8, 16, 24, 32. They are each going up by 8. So if you skip count, we have 40 that's going to be next, 48, 56. There you go. Rip it out and turn it in.